Good morning. It's Sunday, May 2nd, and the leaves are on the trees, and they're almost full. In a couple of days, it will be like true springtime. Meanwhile, the sun is shining brightly as I sit here and rant. And today, on the news, it was declared that New York City was prepared to open up to all its workers on Monday, May 3rd, tomorrow. However, there is an uproar. There is an uprising. Many workers are not prepared to go back to work. They do not feel that the mayor is correct in issuing his order or his statement that they should report back to work on Monday. And the city's largest union is vehemently opposed to that decision. But the mayor has insisted that New York City's positivity rate, which has hovered around 6% for the past couple of weeks, is low enough for everybody to return to work. What's the rush? Well, the mayor feels that the city has to set an example for all the businesses that exist in New York City. And therefore, he's taking the first step to get people back to work, back to the office. And I'm not sure that's such a good idea. I don't think we're psychologically prepared to go back to work yet. And certainly based upon all the comments that the city employees have been making, they haven't been given any real guidance as to how they're supposed to behave and what kind of restrictions will be required in an office. And let's make the assumption that 75% of them are vaccinated, which we don't know is a true fact. In fact, I don't know how many city workers are totally vaccinated. So that's a big problem. That's a big problem in the minds of probably many of these workers. Are they going to wear masks in the office? I haven't seen any rules about masking. I don't know if all the city offices are properly prepared space-wise. I haven't seen anything that indicates that all of these precautions are in place. And if they're not all in place, then these people shouldn't be going back to work on Monday. Now, many of them want to go back to work, but they don't want to be guinea pigs. And why should they be guinea pigs? Just to set an example for business, to get the business rolling again. I don't think that's the right idea. That's not the right approach. And the city happens to be the largest employer in the city, which is obvious. I mean, interestingly enough, the workforce that they want to go back is only about 20% of the workers anyhow, because 80% of the city workers were deemed essential. So they were already working. So this is not a good time to make an example when you got most of the people already working. You're not sending 90% back. You're only asking 20% to return. So what's the rush? But the mayor said this will help increase the productivity. What productivity? What productivity is he talking about? The productivity that he's referencing is to get more things done for the people of the city. Now, I think the people of the city who have lived for 15 months under this cloud of the pandemic can survive another month or two, because it shouldn't take much longer than that to truly, really be ready to get back to work. And then you have situations with the people that you're asking to come back to work. Many people who work in the city don't live in the city. That means they have to commute. And if they have to commute, that means they may have to ride on buses or trains to get to the city. And that's going to expose them. It's not a situation where you come to the clean office and everything is all set up and everything is okay. You're going to be out there with the mobs. If there really are any mobs left in the city, you're going to be out there with other people. So the commute may be a problem for many city workers. And then there was something ridiculous about the anti-Asian hate crimes affecting the city workers. And I don't see that's a valid excuse for anything. Another argument that the mayor put forward was that the coronavirus rate is right on the verge of the safety threshold. Well, right on the verge of the safety threshold doesn't mean it's past the safety threshold. It means there's still some risk involved. Now the metrics show that the number of daily hospitalizations are below the threshold, she said, but it's still on the threshold. The data and the science, he said, is telling us this is exactly the right time to bring people back. How do we really know what is the exactly right time to bring people back? We could be days early or we could be days late. Anyhow, he claims the healthcare leaders have been deeply involved in these decisions. But I don't know that I've seen anything about any high-ranking city healthcare person has stepped up and said it's time to get people back to work. So this mayor is making this decision, and he's confident that we can do this thing very, very safely, he said. But I don't know what the rush is. I don't know what the rush is. And the unions are fighting it, so I don't know if it will really happen or not. On Friday, the mayor made a proclamation on the Morning Joe show and said the city was going to be fully reopened on July 1st. That meant he expected businesses, etc., to open on July 1st. So maybe this proclamation about getting the city workers back to work on May 3rd is in preparation for getting the city opened on July 1st. And the fact that he says the city should open on July 1st doesn't necessarily mean that all businesses are going to follow suit. So I think this might be a bad decision, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Because even though the mayor might be ready for the stores to open, for the businesses to open, for the theaters to open, and everything back to full strength, I'm not sure that the people are ready to do that. We have already gotten 6.3 million vaccinations in New York City to date. I don't know how many of those are full vaccinations or half vaccinations, but in any event, that's what's happening right now. I don't think it's the right decision to send them back to work tomorrow, but we'll wait and see what happens. So I'll see you in the morning. Bye.